Leaders of Kazakhstan, Russia, Armenia, Belarus, and Kyrgyzstan discussed topics on digital economy, trade integration, and establishment of oil and gas markets at the Supreme Eurasian Economic Council meeting. Nursultan Nazarbayev highlighted that despite external risks, countries of the Eurasian Economic Union maintained a positive growth in trade volumes. The number of joint ventures also increased and exceeded 10,000 companies.
В целом мы идем, я считаю, уверенными шагами к достижению наших основных целей. Свободному движению товаров, услуг, капитала.
In general, I believe that we are moving towards achieving our main goals, such as the free movement of goods, services, capital, and labor, that we discuss at each meeting. At the same time, we need to make efforts to ensure the full functioning of the EAEU. First, we need to complete the work on long-discussed documents that are aimed at ensuring the movement of four freedoms: goods, capital, services, and labor. Secondly, we need to eliminate all the existing obstacles in mutual trade by 2025. Which we discussed today. Third, I think it is important to implement anchor projects in key economic sectors, which in practice will strengthen our union. The Commission, together with the governments, should identify a list of such projects that we can implement jointly, just like other economic associations do.
Следует определить перечень таких проектов, которые мы могли бы совместно осуществить, как это делают другие экономические объединения.
Over the years of independence, Kazakhstan has become the leader of global anti-nuclear movement and peacekeeping supporter. According to Lassina Zerbo, Executive Secretary of the UN Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization, the President of Kazakhstan plays a special role in this movement. The Executive Secretary also emphasized that after becoming a nuclear-free state, Kazakhstan didn't withdraw from the international nuclear weapons-free movement, but became one of its most active members. Kazakh presidency's initiative of achieving a world free of nuclear weapons by 2045 on UN's 100th anniversary has become the guideline for the United Nations Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty Organization.
Initiated by Kazakhstan and President Nursultan Nazarbayev is an opportunity not only to remember that we have to put nuclear weapon testing in the past, but it's a call for action to move towards beyond the moratorium against nuclear testing and complete the comprehensive nuclear tests once and for all. Kazakhstan has a leadership in this issue, and I commend the government of Kazakhstan for hosting this year the group of eminent persons of the CTBT and the younger generation, the Youth for CTBT.
Kazakhstan's capital, Astana, has become an effective platform for negotiations on the settlement of the Syrian conflict. The Syrian government officials, the armed opposition, the guarantor countries, Turkey, Russia, and Iran, as well as the UN Special Envoy gathered in Astana 11 times. Today, foreign analysts highly appreciate the important decisions made at the Astana process. There are positive changes in the Syrian talks. The Kazakh Foreign Ministry performed serious preparations for the talks by providing the platform. High-profile delegations arrived for the talks. In my opinion, the so-called moderate opposition in general has never been so widely represented as now. On the first day, we understood that the groups can hold bilateral talks among each other. 3 guarantor countries, Russia, Iran, and Turkey, also held their meeting. The agenda is focused on Syria's territorial integrity. Therefore, sooner or later, I hope that there will be peace in Syria. In any case, major diplomatic efforts are now focused on reaching this goal in the near future. Kazakhstan continues working on its peacekeeping efforts and global initiatives in the UN Security Council, where Kazakhstan is represented as a non-permanent member. According to experts, Kazakhstan is capable of conducting successful peacekeeping missions due to the country's consistent foreign policy. Karaganda region is Kazakhstan's strategically important industrial region. The region significantly contributes to the industrial development. Over the past 5 years, the industrial production rates in Karaganda region has increased by 50%. Growth is observed in all major economy sectors, which cause investors' interest in the region and the local population's desire to develop businesses.
В регионе действует 84 тысячи субъектов бизнеса.
There are 84,000 small and medium businesses in the region, and a third of the economically active population is engaged in the sector. SME production rates reach 1 trillion tenge. We continue implementing the business roadmap and the productive employment and mass entrepreneurship development program. 170 billion tenge were invested in the region's economy. In other words, there are 20 tenge of private investments for 1 tenge of subsidies. Karaganda region's industrial growth has increased the exports of manufactured goods by more than 8%, bringing the region to a leading position in Kazakhstan. The region exported goods worth $20 billion in 5 years. The values increased in the key industries of the region, such as non-ferrous and ferrous metallurgy. For example, modernization of the Zhezkazgan copper smelter will increase the production capacity of the enterprise to 400,000 tons of copper per year.
В рамках этой дорожной карты будет инвестировано.
As part of the roadmap, more than 300 billion tenge will be invested over 3 years. This will help increase the production volume and improve quality. There are also investments that will cover the environmental improvement.
Смотрены инвестиции в улучшение вопросов экологии.
33 new large investment projects worth more than 1 trillion tenge are being implemented in the region. Half of them are foreign invested projects. One of the projects is a wholesale distribution center, which is a completely new approach in trade and logistics. The warehouses can store more than 12,000 tons of various products at the same time, while the loading platforms will be capable of handling more than 150 machines at a time. This wholesale distribution center provides an opportunity for our farmers and businessmen to store, sell, export, and import their products in one place at the same time. There is also a customs clearance zone that allows businessmen from neighboring countries and abroad to use our platform to sell their products. Karaganda farmers are also contributing to the Kazakh economy by accessing the foreign markets. The farmers exported about 700 tons of beef and lamb this year, which is 3 times higher than last year. Local farmers signed contracts to supply meat to China. By the end of the year, they will export 1,000 tons of lamb and beef to China. Kazakhstan is becoming the largest international transit and logistics hub. Today, the country is actively developing transport infrastructure. As part of the Joly state program, 6 international highways will start functioning in the Republic. This includes the Omsk-Kapchagai road connecting China and Russia, as well as Samara-Shymkent and Almaty-Khorgos. In addition, the state program provides implementation of projects such as the Astana-Petropavlovsk that reaches the border with Russia, and the Astrakhan-Atarau-Aktau that reaches the Turkmenistan border. By 2020, all international highways will fully work under the newly Joly program. Therefore, we are working. We have completed some sections. Transit potential will increase many times. We believe that this is a big help to our economy. As part of the Joly program this year, roads of Republican significance, particularly more than 4,500 kilometers, are being reconstructed and repaired. This is the highest figure for all the years of independence, according to the Kazakh Ministry of Investments and Development. Uzbekistan is developing a law on teachers' status. The law will include updated rights and obligations of teachers. Experts say that their interests will be protected and favorable conditions for quality education will be created. In addition, the teachers will receive the right to freedom of choice of curricula as well as forms and methods of teaching. Moreover, they can develop their copyright programs and manuals.
Очень приятно, что именно статус учителя сейчас повышается.
It is very good to see that the status of teacher is improving. It is good to see that the teacher is respected. This makes me happy. Thanks to the government, the internet is developed in schools, which allows us to communicate with teachers from other schools. We share information and new technologies.
С учителями других школ. Мы делимся информацией, новыми технологиями.
The new law also created a new social package. Teachers who have moved from cities to villages will be provided with housing in a long-term preferential mortgage. In addition, the teachers' rating will be directly related to the performance of school children. The Uzbek authorities also consider interaction of teachers with their parents important. Experienced teachers are confident that improving the teachers' status and material support will help attract young people to teach in schools.
Это для нас дает огромный стимул для того, чтобы работать, для того, чтобы заниматься воспитанием нашего поколения, да? И вот
This gives us a huge incentive to work and educate our generation. Since this year, we have been completely free from public Saturday field works. Why? This is done to prepare for lessons in a better way and use additional resources like the internet and multimedia.
свободно могли готовиться на свои уроки, там, использовать дополнительные ресурсы, например, интернет, мультимедиа.
In recent years, Uzbekistan has pursued an active policy of improving the education system. More importantly, the country focuses on the best international experience, which is introduction of innovative educational technologies, improvement of the material and technical base, as well as involvement of qualified specialists from abroad. Resorts in Central Asia are gaining popularity among foreign tourists. Moreover, travelers like to visit the region both in summer and winter. The Central Asian republics, which are famous for their mountains, actively develop the ski industry. For example, foreigners in Kyrgyzstan are attracted to trails of varying complexity, from wide slopes for beginners to narrow and steep ones for professionals. In addition, these new services are promised to be built for tourists. At one of the facilities, an extreme park for skiers and snowboarders will be opened. In another facility, a free ride on an undisturbed slope in ski jumping will be offered. In 10 years, my dream is to visit all the ski resorts in a season. I want to fulfill this dream. We predict that the season will be very snowy and our guests will get a lot of emotions. We are ready to share them. Kazakhstan is focusing on winter recreation. Almaty has world-famous Medio Sports Complex and the Shimbulak Ski Resort, which are proven to be the best for travelers. Currently, foreign climbers and skiers are attracted to eastern Kazakhstan. Tourists will be entertained with not only skis, but also with winter fishing. In spring, half a ton of valuable fish was placed into a small reservoir in the Gornaya Ulbinka tract, which is 16 kilometers away from Oskimen. This is our first year of work. In the future, we plan to make a whole chain of such ponds. I think both foreigners and our people will be interested. Uzbekistan plans to become a global tourist destination. The country has developed more than 20 special documents which have a practical foundation. Our companies are working on development of an extreme ski resort in Uzbekistan, sharing experience in tourism and services. For example, in Uzbekistan's Bostandik region, construction of a ski facility has begun. Central Asia would become a new exotic destination for tourists, analysts say. The republics are actively improving infrastructure and logistics, as well as developing the service sector. Kazakhstan and Korea are strengthening cooperation in healthcare sector. The countries focus on the exchange of experience, technology and methodology. Every year, South Korea's best doctors from leading hospitals visit Kazakhstan to share their extensive cancer treatment experience to the Kazakh specialists and adapt their effective surgical techniques and advanced diagnostic technologies.
환자들이 한국에 가는 그 통계만 한 2년 전에
Today, Kazakhstan is actively working on improving the quality of healthcare, providing advanced equipment to the medical centers, and improving education and training of their professionals. We can see that the number of patients traveling to Korea is dropping as they prefer treatment in their own country.
최근에 한국 기업이 그 알마티에 한국 병원을 열었고.
A program by the Korean International Cooperation Agency, KOICA, has been operating in Kazakhstan since 1995. As part of the program, over 100 Kazakh doctors have completed advanced training courses in Korea over the past 6 years.
В целом мы насчитываем более 1500 человек, которые прошли обучение по данной программе. Среди них
In general, more than 1,500 people have been trained under this program, including about 50 to 60 people with doctoral and master's degrees. Currently, many of them work in the public and private sectors in various industries such as trade, economics, infrastructure, transport, and healthcare. In addition, KOICA also provides the possibility of getting medical care.
В медицине. Помимо этого, койка также предоставляет возможность получения медицинского обслуживания.
Lee Song-hoon is a gastroenterologist and endoscopist. He has been working with Kazakh doctors in close cooperation for more than 4 years. This allows the parties to develop their own diagnostic methods.
지식을 이곳의 의사와 이렇게 나누고
As a specialist, I share my knowledge and experience with my Kazakh colleagues since I am the only representative of South Korea in our clinic in Kazakhstan. I take the role of a conductor of Korean medical technology who talks about Korean clinics, hospitals, and vice versa. I tell about Kazakhstan in Korea, particularly about medicine and healthcare.
이렇게 나누고 그것뿐만 아니라
Experts say that as experience shows, the joint Kazakh-Korean activity in creation of projects in healthcare has been very effective. The parties are actively expanding cooperation. The two countries intend to establish intensive partnership in other sectors. The experts point out that IT is a priority area. The Great Step produced breakthrough discoveries and technologies for humanity. Innovations were created here and spread globally. The significance of the Great Step is highlighted in President Nazarbayev's article. Today, the scientific community is also discussing the importance of the Kazakh heritage. Scientists believe that the historical development and past events can be traced only through the millennial-old sources. According to experts, the ancient artifacts, research and modern methods will help reveal the cultural development progress of the Kazakh society.
Президент отметил, с одной стороны, успехи нашей науки и развитие нашего общества.
In his article, President Nazarbayev highlighted the successes of our science and the development of our society, which is ready to implement new tasks. On the other hand, he provided the prospects and philosophical ideas on the future of our country. The steppe was not just a passage corridor, as it was described in the 18th to 20th centuries, but generated innovations and distributed them through horse breeding throughout Eurasia.
Рождала инновации и распространялась через коневодство по всей территории Евразии.
According to experts, Nursultan Nazarbayev's article, The Seven Facets of the Great Steppe, became a natural and logical continuation of all previous programs initiated by the president. What is the modern world through eyes of artists? The answer to this question can be found on the exhibition of Russian masters Konstantin and Yekaterina Grachovs. Astana is hosting the actual realism exhibition of portraits, graphics and abstraction. The exposition of the creative couple includes over 60 unique works.
Основным произведением, которое мы выбрали для построения экспозиции, мы выбрали триптих Константина Грачева.
The triptych of Konstantin Grachov, which is called To Memory of War, is chosen as the main work of the exposition. That is why we made the exposition with installation from real artifacts of the Military History Museum. It seems to me that it looks very beautiful and modern, and at the same time it shows a deep respect to our fathers and grandfathers.
Низким и глубоким внутренним поклоном нашим дедам и отцам.
In her works, Yekaterina Grachova combines portrait, city landscape, and genre picture. Combining these techniques, the artist allows the perception of things that are invisible to the outside world. Alienation, loneliness, and mystery are available on canvas. Works of Konstantin Grachov is also multifaceted. The master uses all artistic genres. There is a certain dialogue between drawn objects in landscapes and still life. Through this technique, the artist manages to harmoniously control feelings of the audience.
Я вообще люблю предметный мир. Сам часто пишу натюрморты, собираю различные предметы. В них я вижу вообще тепло человеческих рук.
In general, I love the world of objects. I often paint still life and collect various objects. The warmth of human hands, memory, and some super serious things can be conveyed and can be understandable in the genre of a still life. Therefore, I think that this was exactly the impetus. Yesterday, we saw the exhibition. Everything looked quite harmonious and one complements another.
Думаю, что послужило именно это толчком. И с моей точки зрения, вот вчера мы увидели экспозицию, все выглядит достаточно гармонично, и одно помогает другому.
Today, the work of artists, both individually and in duet, are represented around the world. The artists' works are kept in private galleries of China, South Korea, the United Kingdom, Italy, and Russia. The exhibition in Astana will last for 2 months, after which the paintings of the Grachovs will be transported to Pavlodar and Almaty.